Good day, YouTube. And welcome to another life update, a heart-to-heart video. It's been a long time since we've had one of these, hasn't it? I hope the picture's good and all that, because the screen tells me the orientation is locked, but it looks like everything's working the way it's supposed to. I did a channel update about things that are going on, like my all the renovations I'm up on right now. We've touched on a little bit of my health. We've touched on money. We've touched on stuff like that. But the one thing that this place became when I decided to open up and be truthful to myself about myself was it became a safe place for me, and it became a safe place for other people. Over the last 3 weeks, I have been in touch with a lot of people I've made friends with over this channel, and more over the mental health issues that we've tried to overcome versus the beer. We all like the beer, but what brought us together was more the different things we were fighting with. And so over the last few weeks, I've helped a lot of them, and I don't ever want any of them to think that it's a burden. I don't, because I want to be a safe place to talk. I want to be a safe place to rant. I want to be a sounding board. I want to be a support. But at the same time, I had 8 different people in the last 3 weeks, and again, they've all come from here, and it was great that I could help them. But I listened to their stuff, but I haven't talked about my stuff in a very long time. And that's where this video comes up. We're talking about my stuff and what's been going on with me, which is, I'm still just rambling, aren't I? It's not something that I talk about as often as I used to. When I first came out with my BPD and my depression and my anxiety and the trauma that I was carrying with me, I did it more often. And the further away I get from that opening up, the less I realize how much I have to open up to continue to survive and to continue to have the peace of mind that I was able to get, and to continue to be able to be there to support other people. Because if I'm not right myself, I can't be great for the other people. The money stresses will be there until we get caught up. Like I said, I don't think it's something that we can't get out of. It just adds on to everything else. Work, I love my job. I'm just about at 3 months at my new job. I still feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. I still feel like I do nothing. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm good at my job. I don't know if people there like me. I don't care if they like me. It's whether or not they respect me as a leader, and that's what matters. And I don't know. But I love my job. I love what I get paid to do my job. I love the things I can buy at my job. I've worked very hard to be very helpful to as many people as I can. Other than that, have had a lot of stuff go on, be it with I seem to be going in circles here, not getting to where I want to get to. Again, I love my job. I love the city I live in. I love my house as much as it's 100 years old and has lots of problems that I have to deal with. I love my house. I love the people I work with. I love my family. My son, my eldest son, I should say, makes me very, very angry all the time. And I try not to be, but he reminds me so much of his mother. And that's not his fault. He lived a lot of his impressionable years with her. Um, so I get it, and I struggle with the mental disabilities he has that we don't look at. I'm technically disabled. I don't look at myself as disabled at all, so I don't look at him as disabled either. But let's be honest, he's considered deficient or divergent or many other variants of the. I see that comment. I'll get to it. Of the things, and so he frustrates me beyond no end. My eldest daughter is my daughter through Alicia. Uh, Her father lives in Sweden. He's from a country that's known for scamming, and and she frustrates me too for a lot of the same reasons. I see a lot of things in her that make me sad for what could happen in the future for her. And I'm there to be the best father I can be, so I try for everything. Um, my middle daughter is trapped between a rock and a hard place because she loves her father, but loving her father means she doesn't love her mother when she's at home. So when she's here, she doesn't want to be apart from me. She's glued to me. And when she goes back, I usually get a couple days, and the guilt, then the guilt tripping and the manipulation hits, and she pulls away completely. And the only time I get to see a glimpse of that girl that wants to be with me again in video is when she's completely alone, and on the phone is when she's completely alone. And if she's not completely alone, I get like a 2-minute call that's just like, "Hi, Daddy, bye, Daddy." And I get it from my youngest son as well. And my youngest daughter at least still wants to be around me. And I mean, some of it's growing pains, but some of it's also the fact that I don't get to see the kids much. And I think the kids are the main part of my downward look right now. I don't see them. I see them for 2 weeks a year. That's what I get to see my 3 kids, because one of them moved in with her grandparents, and that's another story, and we'll get to that shortly. But well, we don't even have to get to that shortly. Let's get to it right now. We were still in the Arctic when she hit grade 9. They don't have high school in the community we were in to work for the Northwest Company, so she moved in with her grandparents. Well, when we were finally able to get out, by then she had friends, she had a boyfriend, she had this, she had that. She's like, "I don't want to move." Well, grandparents, are you okay with that? Yeah, we're okay with that. Okay, so I only see her when I see my other 2 kids because she comes with them. As much as she might think I'm an asshole and I don't care for her or this and that, I'm just well, I am an asshole, and I'm a big-hearted asshole, and I don't know, because of the stuff I went through, I don't know how to express feelings, so I don't express feelings the way she wants. I don't know if she'll ever realize everything I did for her in the time me and her mom were together. But if she doesn't, she doesn't. But only seeing her for those 2 weeks hurts, because even though she's obviously not my child due to the complexion of her skin, she's my child. Um, then my daughter, like my biological eldest daughter, she's me, in like personality wise, in female form, and I feel for her because I know exactly how she feels, because I went through that as a kid. Um, and that's not what I wanted for her. And she'll tell me how much she wants to be here for the whole summer, or she wants to be here for longer. And then I tell her mom, "Hey, she wants to be here for longer." And then like 3 weeks later, I'll get an email from her mom. "No, she never said that." And then she says she never said that. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do. And I think that's part of the problem, right? There's nothing you can do. You know you're having parental alienation hitting you, but there's nothing you can do because you can't prove anything, and you're already in a money bind, so do you spend like $50,000 in court to prove something you can't prove? And my youngest son, well, my ex left when he was so little, and she said what she said to try and keep visitations away. And by the time things were proven otherwise, and I could fight for a better visitation, we went to the Arctic. So again, my kids are where my life update, my mental health update, my heart to heart really resides, because I feel so guilty that I went to the Arctic. After what I put myself, my wife, and my two daughters through living up there, I feel guilty. It was probably the best thing we could do. It probably saved our marriage. It probably saved our relationship. It probably saved a lot of things. And it was one of the reasons why we were able to end up here with this. But I'm not sold that it was fully the right thing to do in hindsight. And again, I feel guilty because when I left, I guaranteed that I was only seeing my kids once a year. And then COVID happened, and I missed seeing them for almost 2 years. And well, actually, no, it was 2 years. And like just things. And my ex-wife didn't explain to the kids the reason you can't see daddy this year is there's a fucking global lockdown. He's not allowed to leave the Arctic. It was he doesn't want to see you. And I think that's the fucking shit that fucking bothers me. Why are children used as fucking weapons? Why? Okay. Back to where I was going with it. So I feel guilty about going to the north. And I feel guilty but and this is where I feel the most guilt, right? Because I would justify it. I'd be like, well, I'm only losing 2 days from what my current visitation rights are. But if I hadn't come, I could have fought for better visitation. And then when we finally left the north, we came to Saskatchewan. Well, we couldn't afford to live in Ontario. We couldn't afford to do anything. And we made the choice that we thought was right. And whether or not it is or not, evening to you two, we made the choice we made. And cops are out. I keep thinking back on the choices I made and thinking, could I have done things differently? But I was looking for a better job, for a better life, because I was living paycheck to paycheck. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, but I'm able to do more paycheck to paycheck than I could do before. When I lived in the Falls, I had a lot of bad habits going on. There was a lot of things that I wasn't happy with myself. And when we left the Falls, well, hey, we went to Welland, still the same. But I was trying to get a better experience. I was trying to better my life. I was trying to do something that mattered and make more money for myself and my kids. The one thing about being divorced is the more money you make, the more money you pay. So it's almost a lot of people will get stuck in the I don't want to better myself because why? I don't get any further ahead. I'm paying more money, but I still wanted to get further ahead. I wanted to be able to build that future that I wanted to have for my kids. So we went to the Arctic, and we were the managers we were, and it built a resume that people are seeking the skills that you get up there. But I put my family through a lot to go up there. It's not a place to go lightly. The money can be good. Some companies, the money's better than other companies, and some companies, the money is more worthwhile than other companies. So you have to look at how things are going. A lot of benefits up there are taxable benefits, and they make it so that you make even less money because you're paying for your housing or you're paying for your food, even though you're not paying for it. It's getting put on your pay, and you're getting taxed harder. Letting you know this because not a lot of people realize it, and then they go up there and they're like, we're stuck because of how expensive it is to get out, and a lot of companies won't fly you out anymore. So just be wary about read your contracts. But so we were up there. We built the skill set we needed to get better, and then we left. Shit hit the fan as we left, as some of you know, and I went into a job that was still on paper better than what I was doing, but it was not great. Um, and the pay went down. And then I got the job I have now, where the pay went up quite a bit, and it's a better title, and it's a better everything. I'm close to probably the top I'm going to get as a blind guy with no real education. And I say real education because I have high school, I have some university, I have external courses and certificates and stuff, but it's not really real education. So I'm almost to the top I can hit. I'm okay with that. Um, I'm proud of myself. I went from being somebody who beat the statistics and didn't die before my 30s to somebody that made a lot of hard choices to try and help his family. And now I'm in my 40s, and the next statistic for somebody with some of the mental health issues I had is, can I hit 50? And I hope I can. I hope I'm there for the kids. I hope that my guilt for trying to better my life and in turn bettering theirs doesn't do something to myself in the next 8 years. Um, I don't foresee it happening, but you know, you got to be truthful about things. I don't know what the future holds. Um, and the reason the money thing stresses me out is to get the kids here, because I have to pay to get them here. I have to pay to get them back, because the way our court order is written is, you know, she doesn't have to pay a thing for that stuff, and I don't have the money to go back to court. But do I have $4,200 next year to fly everybody back and forth over and over? I don't know where I'm at, and that's the stuff that bothers me. That's the stuff mentally that I sit on, is what am I doing for my kids? Will my kids ever realize the things I did and the things I was up against? So the kids are my major mental obstacle. I'm happy with most things in my life. I'm ecstatic with most things in my life, but that is the one bone of contention for me. And I don't know if I get past it. I don't. But for a guy who was on a lot of scary meds for a long time, who had to do dialectical behavioral therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, and I didn't have to do, but I did some anger management classes because I was like, you know what, it doesn't hurt. And I did a bunch of group therapy. I've done a bunch of in-person therapy. I've done a bunch of phone therapy. I look at myself and I'm fairly proud of everything that's happened. Um, Again, the stick for me is them. I oh no, my lights are out. I can't say I look at my life and go, you know, I I'm happy with everything, because I can't. I can't. Ooh, ghost story. But I can look at my life and say, even with the things that disappoint me, I'm proud of the things I did. And I guess I've been ranting, and well, not ranting, but I've been blabbering on about nothing for long enough. So life update is, I love my job, I love my house, I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm still trying to figure out, now that I'm in my 40s, how things are going to look. I'm still trying to navigate the family stuff. Um, but all in all, from where I was when I started this channel to where I was 7, 8 years ago to where I am now, the growth, well, the loss and the growth is immense. And I mean, yeah, I'm happy to know you all. And again, I want this to be a safe place. So anything you're thinking, I've talked about my suicide attempts. I've talked about the things the trauma that happened to me. I've talked about all that stuff. So if any of you want to talk, I'm there to listen. I just know that sometimes I just need some time to think about my own shit. And that's all. Anyway, guys, love ya. I've ranted on. Bye.